Hello again, I am Blunty, and what you're seeing is footage from the world's first truly consumer accessible, consumer level, stereoscopic VR camera. So you get 180 degrees of field of view, not the 360 you get from those little ball cameras you've seen people like Samsung put out. That's fine, but if you want to sort of frame something up, you want to shoot something and focus your attention on something, you want 180 degrees so they see in front of them. It also means you can be behind the camera without having to see yourself. I've been waiting for this thing to land in my hands for over a year now. I first spoke to the Lucid guys at GTC like a year and a half ago, whatever it was now. It feels like forever ago I've been waiting for this thing to land in my hands so I can start playing with it, because it is the most exciting version of a VR camera that I can think of. I've tried those 360 cameras. It doesn't appeal to me just sticking a 360 camera in the middle of a table or on a beach or something and just having everything going around everywhere and you don't know where the viewer's going to be looking at any one point. This is the camera you want to use if you're interested in making content for VR instead of just sharing a party scene or something on Facebook if you've got a group of friends together. This is the content creators, pocket-sized, all-in-one, do it all, make life easy VR camera. Point is, I'm very much looking forward to experimenting with this camera, because it is a new way to produce content, and it is the first VR camera that has ever made a lick of sense to me as far as producing content worth watching goes. It's all about what you're presenting, how you're presenting, and the level of immersion possible. With those 360 cameras, there is very little immersion. Yes, you feel like you're in the center of everything, but it's flat. You're looking at the inside of a sphere, essentially. With the stereoscopic cameras, you're not looking at the inside of the sphere. You're seeing as if you were seeing with your two eyes. It's stereo, it's in 3D. It's a much more sophisticated level of immersion, and I think that will lend itself much better to creating content that people are really going to enjoy. But that's the thing. When it comes to content that people are going to enjoy, how are they going to view this stuff? There are more and more options online for VR content and 3D VR content, stereoscopic VR content. YouTube, Facebook, Lucid have their own app. Instagram, I think, also support it, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to double check. If they don't, they probably will soon, because Facebook own them. But the problem isn't where you're going to post this stuff. The problem is people watching it, because right now to watch VR content you have to have a VR headset either on your computer or have one of those shells that you plug your phone into. But the point is, how many people have bought those things? That's the issue. Getting access to VR content through various apps and websites is easy. Being able to view it is a different thing altogether, because you have to have extra hardware. And if you're like me this morning, walking around the gardens, walking to and from work, you're on your commute, on the train, on a bus or anything, you're probably not going to seal yourself in one of those headsets. You're going to be doing it at home, which sort of limits the time window that people will enjoy these things. When just watching YouTube videos, for example, people watch those everywhere when they are commuting, when they're on, I've seen people walking around watching YouTube videos, running into telephone poles. Watch where you're going when you're walking, people. But you see my point. The window of opportunity to view VR content is currently very small, because the number of people who own those headsets is small, and the time people have access to and the will and desire to use the headsets to view VR content is even smaller than that. So, people who are really into VR say they watch VR every day. How long are they going to spend doing that on watching sort of pre-recorded content versus gaming? I don't know what the answer to that is yet, but I do know that products like the Lucidcam are a huge step forward in getting the ability to create this content in many more people's hands, and that is vital for getting the growth. But coming back to the adoption of VR and how useful this camera is actually going to be to you wanting to make VR content out of it, well, if you're a porn producer, then you're going to love the thing. I mean, let's be honest. A real growth industry in VR is porn. I don't mean to be indelicate or offend your, gentle sensibilities, but porn is huge in VR right now. It is growing faster than any other kind of VR content. It's kind of always the way with porn, though, isn't it? They always sort of lead the technology charge. Video streaming sites, porn were there in the beginning. VHS versus beta, porn made the decision there. And let's be even more honest, with porn being easy and cheap to find online, a lot of people who produce porn for online sites aren't interested in spending tons of money on very, very sophisticated cameras and things like that. So I expect the Lucidcam was probably going to be used in a lot of naked movies. the point of all this porn talk is adoption is increasing. So now that the sort of porn is spreading out there, the regular, normal, family-friendly content, if you will start to be spreading as well. More and more people have the equipment. The uptake is going to start accelerating as long as it is easy to make. And of course, that's where the Lucidcam comes in. Like I said, when I very first got my hands on it at GTC, a year and a half ago, it's the GoPro for VR. It makes it that easy. It's point and shoot, simple, pocket size. You can pull it out of your pocket, set it up somewhere, click the button. That's all you have to worry about. Everything else is done for you. The two lenses side by side are properly distanced, or the software inside properly stitches the video together to give you a seamless viewing experience. It is small enough to be able to mount different places, like on the front of vehicles. I think would be quite exciting. I might try that. I don't know whether I'm going to have time to try that by the time this video needs to go up, but maybe going forward I'll give that a go. But there is reason to be enthusiastic about VR content going forward, and stereoscopic VR content going forward as well. I'm eager to try this out at the next convention I go to, for example. I wonder if I can take this to Gamescom and get some interesting VR content there, sort of first-person, stereoscopic, like you're actually looking through my eyes, kind of. I've done that before with GoPros sort of strapped to my backpack here and stuff like that when I'm doing game demos at various shows, and people tend to like that stuff. I did that a lot with the Switch stuff when I got hands-on with that. So being able to do that in VR, so you've got a stereoscopic view of it, you can actually see the Switch, for example, being held in front of your face through my own eyes, and you can look around at will and focus on what you want to focus on. That's very exciting as a YouTuber, as a content creator, to be able to present stuff for you guys in that sort of interesting way. And it's a new challenge for me personally, creatively speaking, because I've got to think in different ways about how I'm shooting stuff and how I edit it and how I present and put it together. So all of this should be exciting on your end and my end, whether you're a viewer or a creative type. The Lucidcam, I keep coming back to this. The only word I can come back to is exciting. I'm excited to play with the damn thing and see what can be done with it, and see if stereoscopic VR presentation is something people really respond to, because that's the only unknown right now. Are people going to want to watch a lot of this stuff? Is the inconvenience factor of being able to having to get your headset on to be able to watch content instead of just opening up your phone and watching it on the train or on your TV when you're making dinner and stuff like that? That barrier to entry, that you have to be entirely focused in your VR video. You can't have it on in the background while you're doing other stuff. Is that barrier going to stop people really sort of adopting VR as a new and exciting and common video consumption experience? I don't know, but I'm really excited to find out. I don't want to interrupt your calm too much here, but a scene like this, I've just been sitting here filming it, and I'm thinking to myself, what if I just set up this camera here and left it running for half an hour, and just uploaded that as a piece of VR content with a bit of gentle plinky plonky piano music or something behind it? That kind of meditative, I think is the word I'm looking for, kind of content where you can just pop on a headset, look at a real world scene and pretend you are sitting somewhere nice and calm, even when you're not sitting somewhere nice and calm, like in your office. You put on a set of sound isolating headphones and look at a scene like this for half an hour on your lunch break and calm yourself right the hell down. I mean, I'm thinking of stuff like conventions and things like that, and now just sitting here filming this, and I thought, also lovely. There's still so much. I'm excited by the potential of this camera. That's all it is. So, you guys tell me at this point, is stereoscopic VR something you're actually interested in? If so, are you interested in making content yourself with the Lucidcam here, or are you interested in watching more stereoscopic VR content because of the level of immersion it presents? And if so, what kind of content, stereoscopic VR speaking, would you like to see from people like me here on YouTube doing reviews and commentary and expos and travel vlogs and things like that? It's such an open door at the moment. You can try basically anything, but it's worth asking you guys, what kind of stuff you would be interested in seeing in VR versus a traditional camera. What do you think would enhance your viewing experience most? What do you think stereoscopic VR would make more enjoyable to watch as far as you're concerned? Speaking for myself, like I said earlier in the video, I'm already thinking about those first-person perspective demos of products and things out on show floors. I'm already thinking about travel vlogs, you know, a little bit like I've been showing in the gardens today. I mean, today's been very unstructured. I've just been trying to point the camera at different things to see how it deals with backlighting from the sun, or side lighting in this case, or, you know, detail objects in the foreground versus far away, versus, you know, what kind of depth perception you can get versus, you know, what the microphones are doing in various circumstances and things. So, but using this for a travel vlog, so you feel like you're actually there viewing the things, like I showed you that scene earlier when I was trying to shut up for a bit. That's the kind of stuff I'm interested in doing stereoscopic VR travel vlogging and first-person perspective product demos on show floors. So I can just sort of mount it on a chest harness or something here, so it's a relatively stable viewpoint as opposed to mounting it on my head where I'm looking around. You want to be able to look around yourself, not be able to follow my eyes. So, I don't know. You guys chime in now. This is all so new and so exciting, and like we said at the very opening of this video, the Lucidcam is the very first consumer accessible stereoscopic 3D camera that makes any sense at all, that is affordable, that is easy to use, that anybody can pick up and point at stuff and use and get cool looking videos out of, just like when the GoPro first launched. Doing action sport videos, even skateboarding videos or snowboarding, all that stuff, very complicated before the GoPro came along for an average person to do. You need all sorts of harnesses and rigs and very expensive cameras and lenses, and it was just ridiculous. And the GoPro came along and changed everything. Now GoPros are everywhere. But yeah, very, very exciting to have a product like the Lucidcam here in the real world, and about to be in the hands of a lot of people. And I'm interested to see what other people start doing this thing as well. Other YouTubers, for example, I'm sure more than just me have got their eye on this thing for producing interesting content that is presented differently from because competition is so tough. I mean, it's YouTube, there's thousands and thousands of hours every nanosecond being uploaded, so anything you can do to make your stuff a little bit different, stand out, provide a fresh experience might help. Who knows? But I am Blunty. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. And stereoscopic 3D VR. I'm excited by it. I don't know whether I mentioned it, but I'm excited by it. I may have mentioned it once or twice in passing. Subtle message, but I am genuinely excited by it. Walking off frame now. Bye. Can you follow me? I'm still over here. I have to walk outside of frame. Bye. Bye. Going off frame now. Hey. Oh. And now I'm behind the camera. Whee! That probably just freaked a bunch of you out, didn't it? Sorry.